What if AI could pick your soulmate better than you can? That future is already becoming a reality as dating apps are starting to integrate AI into their platforms to pick a partner for you.
The mission is to shine the light into the darkness.
This is just for stocks and giggles, and today we'll be discussing dating apps and how AI is integrated in their future.
Bear, did you know that every swipe on these dating apps is now training AI?
Really? How so?
Dating apps have been using AI for years now to do things like learn from your type, quote unquote, based on who you swipe on, who you message, how long you look at profiles. They're predicting mutual attraction. They rank people, which is like this hidden score similar to how they rank chess players. But more recently, they've been using AI to do things like act like a matchmaker, which means they have AI systems interview you like a human would, analyze your personalities, your values, and then they try and suggest a smaller number of very high quality matches. They're even using AI to do things like analyze your entire camera roll, which you have to give them permission for, but who knows if they're doing some shady stuff otherwise. But they use your camera roll to kind of get an idea of who you might like and what photos you respond to. And they're also using AI as a coach. So I mean, in the past 2 years, AI has blown up in the dating app world. And I guess we can talk about a few of the companies in this industry, but how does all that make you feel?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, and I think I'll list some of these major publicly traded companies real quick and get into those thoughts. But just to kick it off, so I mean, there's Match Group Inc. That's actually the publicly traded company on the Nasdaq, but that includes a lot of companies that you probably know, like Tinder, like Hinge, like Match.com, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish. They're all under Match Group Inc. And then there's also, of course, Bumble, Grindr, Hello Group, and Spark Network. So this is a huge industry, obviously. You know, at one point, the only big name I remember is like Match.com and Tinder. Like they were the big two for a while. And then all these other companies that gave you different ways to use their dating apps came on board. So I'm not surprised that AI is now coming into place as the market continues to grow, and finding a partner online has become the norm the last like 10 years, I say.
It's become the norm, and we can put a graphic up on the screen about how people have found their partners over the years. And it used to be through work or school or whatever, and now it's pretty much dating apps. And so it's no surprise, obviously. I think what's surprising people is the way that AI is being implemented. So I think people have always known that these companies have been using AI or, an algorithm to figure out, hey, this type of person might like this type of person, right? But I think what the recent outrage is over AI acting like a matchmaker and choosing your matches for you, which I'm not sure. Have you ever used dating apps? How do you feel about all of that?
All right. Yeah. So to answer your question, I have not used dating apps, but I have benefited from dating apps, if that makes sense.
No, that does not make sense.
Okay, this is what I mean by that. I've never personally had a dating app account, but I've been like hanging out with my buddies, and like one of my buddies is on Tinder, and he's like, "Oh, I got this is in my single day." He's like, "Oh, I matched with this girl on Tinder. She's gonna bring her friends, and like we're gonna go hang out."
Right. I get it.
Yeah, so like I've had situations like that. I'm kind of used to pre-dating apps, or at least when they were just early on, where you just had to kind of, go meet somebody out. And I should probably clarify what I said before as far as like dating apps are the new norm for finding a partner. That's probably a little misleading, because I don't know for sure if people are mainly finding their partners on dating apps. But what I mean is most people, especially younger people, are at least using dating apps. I don't know how efficient they are, but they're at least using them. And now with AI in play, it sounds like dating apps are going to be working more like a matchmaker, which, I mean, that actually might be good for some people, because a lot of people can get superficial on AI and they're just swiping, and this is kind of like, oh, this person matches with you for concrete reasons. Just try going on a date with them.
I feel like that's a very unique take. Most people, I feel like, would push back against, I don't want a computer choosing who I date, but that's a very rational take. To answer your question of whether most people are meeting their matches or meeting their partners online today, yes, you were not wrong. So I have a graph here that we'll put on the screen. But back in 1930, a quarter of people met their partners through family, another quarter through school, friends, neighbor, church. Today, it's 60% of people meet their partners online, 13% through family, and about 15% through coworkers, bar. So like, long story short, yes, almost 2/3 of people are meeting their partners online. So you're 100% correct. And I agree with you now that you said it, that a computer algorithm can understand so much more data than, a human with all their emotions. They're not sure what type of person they really like. And a computer with, all this evidence of, oh, you messaged this type of person 3 times versus this person you messaged 10 times. And, they can combine all that data and say, hey, not just you, but people like you, because that's all AI is. It's just relating data and relating concepts and relating words. It's saying, hey, a person who likes basketball or a person who has pictures of basketball on their profile likes this type of girl or this type of guy or whatever it is. And yeah, maybe it is 10 times more accurate than a human is. That's a really good point. I'm not sure how most people feel about it. That's something we should ask in the comments though.
Yeah, no, for sure. We definitely should. I'll jump into my final thoughts on the topic real quick. So I think that the AI is getting involved in dating apps is interesting. AI is obviously becoming a part of a lot of industries. And like I said before, I think this can be a good thing. It also can be a bad thing. But I think this can go either one of two ways. I think the good route is, like I was alluding to before, what's going to happen is people are going to find out that, hey, AI is actually more efficient. So a lot of things I don't necessarily think about. I take out the whole, looks and how their picture looks and what's pleasing to me visually, and I just let AI run the numbers and pick the best compatible person, and I go on a date with them. And that's great because you have the option, and you can still date other people. I think where it could go bad, which I'm not saying this will happen, is if somehow AI starts compiling all this data and more money gets involved, and now somehow people are being forced to go on dates. Not saying that'll happen, but it may happen.
Okay. To give my final thoughts, I want to say 2 interesting things. Bumble and Match Group, Match Group is Tinder and Hinge, like Bear said, their revenue is going down over the past few years. So they're struggling. And Bumble is more female focused and allows the woman to choose whether they respond to the partner or not. So both of these are kind of more focused towards straight people versus Grindr is an LGBTQ app, which is, I just looked this up. Grindr, their revenue is growing 30% year over year. This is very interesting to me. So, maybe we can have another episode of why that might be the case. But anyways, the overall industry is growing at about 8 to 9% year over year. So the industry is growing, but the 2 largest players, Match Group and Bumble, are struggling right now, which is why they're trying these new AI tools and trying to pretty much get engagement going back. So yeah, that's all we have for you guys today. And thanks for joining us. And remember,
this is all just for stocks and giggles.
If you enjoyed this, subscribe.
And check out this next video. You're gonna love it.